Hey guys, this is Brandon Stiles, and today I wanted to talk about how to budget for your marketing campaigns. So, marketing campaigns and budget spend versus maybe available cash flow to spend on a marketing campaign don't always stack up, right? So, you might want to or need to reach 5,000 people, 10,000 people, but you might be stuck with a $300, $100, heck, $50 budget, and that's just only going to get you so far, right? So $50 is probably not going to turn you into an overnight celebrity, right? $1,000 might not. 5,000, there are people spending $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 a day on Facebook ads and AdWords. And most businesses don't just have that kind of cash flow to throw around, right? So what do? Well, the trick to this is to learn how much each of your website visitors is worth, okay? So not how many people buy, not what's your conversion rate, anything like that. You have to find out how much each unique visitor to your website is worth. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's say that you send 100 people to your website, and let's say one person buys a $100 item. So anyone hearing this is saying, well, that's a 1% conversion rate. Forget conversion rates for a second, all right? Let's think in terms of dollars per user. So if we repeated that a few times and we upped it to, let's say, we had 1,000 unique visitors, right, which is a pretty good sample size, and 10 people bought, and we ended up making $1,000. Well, that's still right at the same profit, right? 10 times 100 is 1,000, and we still have the exact same ratio. But what that means is that each person that comes to our website is worth $1. So it's not what's the conversion rate, it's not how big is the cart value and all that stuff, and that stuff's important, but think of it like this, and then you can determine how much you can spend per marketing, right? So if it's costing you 75 cents to get one person to your website, but you know that that person is worth $1 on the back end, well, you're making a 25% return on your money, right? You're spending 75 cents and making $1. So anytime you're putting together a marketing budget or trying to figure out what you can spend, think of it that way. That might take some numbers, that might take a little bit more volume than maybe what you're doing now. If that's the case, I know what it's like to not have a big marketing budget sometimes, okay? So you might have to save up, you might have to play with some numbers a little bit, but figure out how much each person, unique visitor, whether they buy or not, that are coming to your website, find out how much that person is worth. They will have a number, and then you can determine how much you want to spend. So if each person that comes to your website is worth $2, well then even spending up to $2 per lead or $2 per visitor, which is pretty high, you're at least going to break even. And then you can build your business at least at a break-even point. Now, we'll see how long that lasts, but you do want to find profitability at some point, right? But at least you'll know how much you can spend to get a person to your website. You're always looking at positive cash flow. So break that down. How do you break that down? Well, go into your Google Analytics and look at how much revenue you've made over the last year, if you have that kind of data, and then look at how many unique visitors come to your website. And if you've got enough volume, obviously this isn't going to work with 2 or 3 people, but if you've got tens of thousands of people over the course of the year coming, you can probably get a pretty good estimate for what you can spend. So let's say if you have made $200,000 in revenue, and then you look and you see that 200,000 people have come to your website over the course of the last year, well then the same thing, you're paying $1, and I'm just doing that because it's really easy math, and I'm horrible at doing math on camera, and I'm always questioning myself constantly, even now in this video, but how much money do you make every time someone comes to your website? I'm Brandon Stiles, I'm a digital marketer out of Atlanta. Hope that helped. Go into your Google Analytics and figure out how much each person that comes to your site is worth, how much each visitor is worth. Go now, check it out. And please subscribe to the channel if that was helpful, and I'll see you next time.